Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Baccalaureate service celebrating the voices and gifts of the class of 2026. Tonight is about the diversity and breadth of the student experience in word and performance. When we first arrived at Elizabethtown College, many of us were stepping into the unknown. We carried boxes into residence halls, scanned campus maps, and tried to pretend we knew where we were going, even when we absolutely did not. And in a way, that first week of college was a perfect metaphor for the last 4 years. Because college was never really about having everything figured out. It was about learning how to keep moving forward even when we didn't. We've taken difficult exams that led us to doubt ourselves. We have possibly changed majors, navigated friendships, and even discovered parts of ourselves we didn't know existed. Some moments, like celebrating wins, joining clubs, and late-night laughs with friends were loud and exciting. However, others were quieter, moments when everything around us felt difficult, overwhelming, or even uncertain. Moments when a path forward was not clear. But those moments mattered just as much. These years did not just give us academic knowledge, they also gave us perspective. They taught us resilience. They showed us the power of community. And tonight, you will hear these students' perspectives. The world we're stepping into needs exactly these voices. It needs people who are willing to listen, people who care about their communities, people who are brave enough to try, even when success isn't guaranteed. Each of us will go into different places and different paths. But the lessons we learned here at Elizabethtown College about curiosity, perseverance, and connection will continue to guide us throughout our lives. Thank you for sharing this time with us as we reflect on all we have learned and our hopes for the future.
Let us pray. Dear God, we thank you for this beautiful day to gather together before you. We welcome your presence into this place this evening and pray your blessing over this ceremony, all who have gathered, and our celebration tomorrow. We thank you for guiding us through our time here at Elizabethtown College and being with us through the ups, the downs, and everything in between. I pray that our eyes are opened to how you have been and will continue to work in every detail of our lives. We ask our hearts to be open to your love, your guidance, and your saving grace as those of us graduating step into a new chapter of our lives. I pray a special thank you to you for each and every one of the peers, professors, coaches, mentors, and supporters that have been alongside us on this journey. I ask for your peace as we proceed this evening, tomorrow, and into the future. Thank you for all that you do for us. In the heavenly name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Throughout my 3.5 years at Elizabethtown College, I have had many influential mentors during my various seasons. Some were in my early childhood education and special education dual major. Others were from the Blue Jays athletic community under the women's soccer team, and even when I joined the women's lacrosse team for my final spring semester. These mentors have helped pave the path for me, provide strength and encouragement during the challenging times, have been next to me to celebrate my accomplishments, and have challenged me to be the best person I can be for myself and others. As someone that was heavily involved around campus, something that my mentors in the education department shared with me was to take opportunities to grow and pursue your own educational interests. I took this advice when I was looking for a challenge, which led me to pursuing my own SCART project. During this season, I made many new professional connections and strengthened my own educational passions. In athletics, I was surrounded by mentors as well that helped me find my why in sports. Finding my why allowed me to overcome the challenging seasons in my athletic career and opened me up to many opportunities in leadership and service. I became one of the college's co-captains for SAC for 2 years. I was a volunteer at various youth soccer camps and organizations in our community to provide young kids access to the game. And most importantly, I made sure I was leaving my soccer and lacrosse jerseys in a better place than how I found them. I believe a quality mentor prepares you to be a mentor to others so you can positively make a difference. I'm confident to say that all my mentors throughout my years here have shown me how to be a leader for others. I have recently begun a new season of my life as I have accepted my first full-time job as a second grade teacher. I have truly seen what it means to be a mentor and a leader to others in our community as I aspire to fulfill this to the best group of 17 amazing second graders. Each day I'm so grateful that I get to inspire, connect, and help build the young minds of the students in my classroom to be the best versions of themselves inside and outside the classroom. Not only have my mentors in education allowed me to be a mentor in my career field, but my mentors in athletics have encouraged me to continue to share my passion and love for the game of soccer by coaching. I look forward to giving back to soccer by coaching next fall and having a positive influence on young girls in my community. I'm so thankful for who I have become because of all the love, support, and guidance my mentors at Elizabethtown College have shown me. As we wrap up this season, my hope for all of you is that you take time to reflect on your relationships with your mentors from college and thank them for the impact that they had on you. When you go into each new season of your life, take with you the advice, guidance, and support and love your mentors have shown you so you can continue to accomplish your goals, have an open mind with new opportunities, be leaders to others, and most importantly, leave a positive impact wherever you are because of who you are.
When looking back at the last 4 years of my life, as I'm sure we all have been doing for the past month, I constantly ask myself if I've lived the college experience. Obviously, this raises the question of what the college experience is. Is it the wild nights spent with friends partying till you're walking back to your dorm with the sun greeting you? Or is it those sunny days spent laying out in the dell, playing music too loud and laughing even louder, surrounded by those you hold so near to yourself? Well, I think this is definitely the idea and image of college we were all sold on. But I think in reality, the college experience looks a little bit different for each of us. For some, it looked like staying inside the library, stressed out of your mind over a deadline, beating yourself up over procrastinating again. For others, it's crying your eyes out night after night over a lost love and a stupid conversation and things left unsaid. Or ultimately, it's the quiet nights, nothing to do, no one to talk to but yourself, and just getting things together for the next day, celebrating the small wins with only yourself. I've come to realize in the end that the college experience isn't some teenage movie of people stealing another college's mascot or committing frankly suspect acts, but instead it is, as it says, an experience. We all live different lives and reach different goals. And although your last 4 years may not have been like everyone else's, mine sure wasn't, it's your life and your experience. We all got here through different means. Some may have had to fight harder than others, but you're the only one who could have lived it. And as we all walk across that stage, we should be proud of the life we have lived. We will all have stories to tell our kids, the stranger on the bus, a coworker, or a multitude of other people in our lives. So don't stress out over living the college experience. Don't worry about not having done enough, thrown enough parties, dated enough people. You have all done so much amazing things. We've all lived and brought forth a college experience of our own. So let's not think about what we could have done, and instead think about what we have done. The papers we have written, the friends we have made, and the lives we have led. We have all done so much and changed so much. But don't forget these last 4 years. Don't forget your experience here. It's who you are, it's who we are, and it's what makes us great.
The funny thing about seasons is that they always return. Each year, as the first day of fall arrives, the air carries the slightest chill. We're comforted by the quiet promise that summer will come again. And when spring brings blooming flowers and the return of birds, we trust that winter too will find its way back. Seasons are built on repetition. Perhaps that's why we find so much comfort in them. It's the certainty of their return. But the funny thing about our lives are that seasons don't work the same way. We often talk about entering a new season of life, but unlike the rhythms of nature, our past seasons never truly come back. Each one is fleeting, shaping us and then moving on. So the question becomes whether or not a new season is coming, it always is, but whether or not we are ready to step into it, knowing that there is no returning of the one we leave behind. The seasons of life ask us to reflect, and sometimes no matter how much we have achieved over these past 4 years, there always will be a part of us that wonders if we could have done more. I too find myself asking, did I do enough? As my mind cannot fully comprehend that earning a bachelor's degree in social work, building lifelong friendships, finding the love of my life, training multiple life-changing service dogs, completing 700 hours of field hours, providing meaningful therapeutic services, growing a thriving college puppy raising program, and creating a lifetime of memories could ever be enough. Why is it that the very thing that makes us so deeply human, the part of us that drives us to grow, to serve, and to change lives, can also be the most critical, most relentless, and at times the most harmful? Simply being here tonight is an accomplishment. Walking across that stage is an accomplishment, and perhaps most importantly, being the person you have grown into is an accomplishment. You have achieved incredible things, and this is only the beginning. You will continue to grow, continue to serve, and to create moments that are not only meaningful, but truly life-changing. The seasons in our life will never be the same. They'll never repeat, and they won't ever feel familiar. And that's what makes them so beautiful, because between every season of life, there is change. So tonight, instead of allowing your mind to wander or question your accomplishment, stand tall and be proud. Take a moment to look around, appreciate the people you met along the way, and remember to thank those who walk beside you. Because the seasons of our lives are defined by transformation, and unlike the steady patterns of nature, it's that change that makes them so meaningful and so beautiful.
To the girl I once was, afraid of college and driving, shaking at the wheel, afraid of any failure, uncomfortable at new turns, barely breathing through tears, at all my little mistakes, shaking through my classes, too loud, barely passing, only. Hit me like a truck when things worked out, checking my mirrors, avoiding tunnel vision, grateful today for people helping me heal, when whiplash stopped me from sleeping, haunted my dreaming, grateful today for time taken to learn, when the world felt too big to be just is. Grateful today for angels appearing through the mist, people helping me through my greatest failures, to new opportunities, new drives, each new trip and adventure. Oh, to be young and adventurous. Oh, to be so lucky. I'm so grateful to you all. I can say this with confidence, hard won by us all. As I drive through the night, I turn on the light. You will be a bright spot in someone's life. There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to uproot. I find this verse from Ecclesiastes 3 particularly powerful. As graduating students, we are at the precipice of turning over a new leaf. It may feel slightly daunting, but it also feels refreshing, like the potential energy before jumping off a diving board. In this past month, I've discovered a newfound energy and motivation to wrap up this chapter of my life as I prepare to open the next. After spending these past years at Elizabethtown College, planting knowledge and skills, and growing physically, emotionally, and spiritually, it is now time to uproot. As a commuter, I've always stayed close to home, but moving to Detroit for graduate school will be my opportunity to harvest what I have gained here and replant into my new life. Wherever your journey takes you, I hope you find solace in the fact that it is your time and you are meant to be. The most important spiritual lesson I've learned during college is that if you have faith in the process, you will end up at the right destination, even if it wasn't what you originally planned. You are here tonight at Elizabethtown College in Leffler Chapel, celebrating your graduation tomorrow, because you were meant to be here at this point in your life. Congratulations on how far you've come. There will always be difficult challenges to overcome as you uproot and replant, but remember that while there's a time to experience hardship, there's also a time, like tonight, to rejoice in your harvest and appreciate the people who have helped you along the way. Remember that there's a plan for each of you, and you are also in the plan of so many others. While we don't yet know the details of our plans, it is our time to go find out what's in store.
Good evening, students, faculty, and loved ones. We're here to celebrate the end of an era, but also leave behind the place so many of us have called home these past few years. So many memories were made, friendships built, lessons learned. During our time here, we've not only grown as students, but we've grown into ourselves as people. We've learned who we are and who we want to continue to be. While we're still young and have so many new adventures on the horizon, take this time to reflect on how far you've come, navigating college-level courses, extracurriculars, and social endeavors. I'm sure many of us face challenges along the way. Roommates you didn't quite click with, classes you could just not make yourself get up for, maybe even long-distance familial or romantic relationships. Through the good and the bad, we persevered. One thing I remember hearing constantly as a first year was enjoy it. It'll be over before you know it. And I remember thinking, I just got here. But they were all right. What might feel long in the moment actually moved so fast when looking back. Are there any of the fans of The Office out there? Well, as Andy Bernard, or the Nard dog, once said, I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them. I think that sums up how many of us feel right now. It might feel like this is goodbye forever, that we are leaving pieces of ourselves behind. And in a way, I suppose parts of us will remain here. I had the honor of raising SSD Cannoli II, a service dog in training through Susquehanna Service Dogs, who went on to be a bomb detection canine. It was through the on-campus puppy racing program, Dogs in the Dell, that I met some of my closest friends. While the triumph of sending Cannoli off to work and all the memories I hold so close to me remain a part of who I am, Dogs in the Dell will stay at E-Town even as I leave. Cannoli has moved on to bigger and better things, but I still find remnants of his fur in my room. No matter what journey you took while you were here, your legacy at E-Town will remain. To the first generation students who learned as they went, to students who took a chance and transferred or switched majors, to students who built organizations or clubs on campus with nothing but a passion, to students who bravely traveled abroad and immersed themselves in other cultures, or those who came here from other countries, To students who completed research or internships and presented at conferences or in front of people in your field, to students who worked and were partially or fully financially independent, and to the students who silently battled their own internal struggles, I hope you feel empowered. It's amazing what we can achieve when we set our minds to it. Those parts of you will remain here as pictures on bulletin boards or plaques on the walls, but those accomplishments and memories are a part of what makes you, you. For the organization might remain on campus, but you'll always have the members' phone numbers, and the dog fur might still be hidden in your room, but his pictures take up most of the storage on your phone. Okay, that might be a little too specific to me, but you get the point. I applaud and congratulate all of us on finishing what we started. I wish each and every one of you endless luck on whatever journey lies in wait after today. I'm gonna be planning a wedding and navigating grad school, so I know I need it. We may have been in the good old days, but there are definitely still amazing days ahead. Thank you.
Dear family, friends, and staff, my name is Cindy Munkoro Perez. I am an international student from Mali. I, like many others in this room, am a testimony to how great the Lord is, because college was not easy, at least for me. But I learned something along the way. To everything, there is a season. Through doubts, losses, failed friendships, and exams, the Lord still chose to shine his light on me. While I call home Mali, I have walked through 5 schools and lived in 4 different countries. I was used to being different, but this time here at college. I was across the globe, more than 4,500 miles away from my family, my home. All I could do was pick up the phone and call for help, yet I had to figure everything out on my own. I was lost. I was trying to figure out what my identity was. And being surrounded by people who looked, sounded, and thought so differently from me, my light started to dim. I did not know where to turn, until I found people who accepted my accent, my skin tone. I found people who enjoyed my company and loved my coily hair. And I remembered thinking to myself that it was all internal. And I was right, because as time went by, I had to learn to believe in who I was. The only thing standing in my way was myself. My grades, my mistakes did not define me. What defined me were the choices I made and the hard work that brought all of us here today as graduates. Life challenges us in so many ways. Through discomfort we cannot escape, through depression, anxiety, endless deadlines, and the criticism of others. But when we begin to do the inner work, everything changes. I learned to stop fighting every challenge and instead go through it. After the hardship, the tears, the sleepless nights, after missing birthdays and funerals, you begin to reflect on what truly lives inside of you. And that is when you become the person you choose to be. As we grow, we realize that life is not just black and white. Life is many shades, many colors. There may be people who are not here today to witness your success, but we can still carry them in our hearts. We can still say, we made it. Make them proud, make yourself proud. Achieve your dreams, and in the process, be kind. Because kindness is evidence of courage. It is proof of respect. It is proof of compassion. So to that I say, cheers to us, class of 2026 graduate. We must allow ourselves to come out of our chrysalis, because even that stage, the waiting, the breaking, the changing, it is just a season. So let's spread our wings in this uncertain world and live a full and beautiful life.
wise not only in words, but in deeds. Mere knowledge is not the goal, but action. Know the God of your fathers, and serve him by your deeds. Let not your wisdom exceed your deeds, lest you be like a tree with many branches but few roots. If the thoughts of your heart be pure, it is likely that so will be the works of your hand. Accustom yourself to do good. Before long, it will become your chief delight. One good deed leads to another, as every evil deed leads to more wrongdoing. If others do good through you, their deeds will be accounted to you as your own. Though it is not incumbent upon you to complete the work, you are not free from doing all you possibly can. Judge a man by his deeds, and you will not be led to false judgment. Say little and do much, for by your deeds shall you be judged. If you are wise and rich, let your good deeds reveal your wisdom and your wealth. Honor a man for what he is, but honor him more for what he does. Honor not a man for his possessions alone. Honor him most for the use he makes of them. When a man departs this world, neither silver nor gold nor precious stones accompany him. He is remembered only for his love of learning and his good deeds. Happy is the man who is rich in good deeds, for he shall be honored in life and be remembered long afterwards for his goodness.
سورة فاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Ameen. English translation. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. All praise is for Allah, Lord of all worlds, the most compassionate, most merciful, Master of all day of judgment. You alone we worship, you alone we ask for help. Guide us along the straight path, the path of those you have blessed, not the path of those you are displeased with, or those who are astray.
Good evening, everyone. I am more than excited and honored to be able to share my message with you at such a special gathering. I would like you all to take a moment and think about what led you to this exact moment in time. What actions you may have taken that set you down the path that led you to this exact ceremony. Researchers have called this phenomenon the butterfly effect. I'm sure you've heard of it. One small action, like a butterfly flapping its wings, sets off a snowballing cascade of other and typically larger events that lead you to a specific moment in time. There's only one problem that I can find with this concept, and that is that we're blue jays, not butterflies. That's just the last time I checked. So, what happens when a blue jay flaps its wings? That is the blue jay effect. The blue jay effect starts the day that we all choose to come here to E-Town. We choose to begin a journey here, a journey that will lead us towards our passions and aspirations. From there, we move in for our first years, boxes loaded to the brim with everything we're convinced we're going to need for the first quarter of our expedition. We take our first classes, we barely pass our first exams, and we struggle our way through first essays. We begin to see change, growth into the individuals that we are set to become. Then those countless hours we spend studying turn into research, the guided pursuit of knowledge that seeks to answer questions which will better our world, an attempt to understand new things. Or even first internships, that first big step into the real-world workforce. Before you can even blink, those research posters and internship handshakes turn into a cap and gown. Classes and club meetings turn into final celebratory banquets and regalia receptions. The signal that your time in the nest is about to conclude. But again, the blue jay flaps its wings as it prepares to take flight, and the blue jay effect carries on. Graduation turns into first jobs, first apartments, new beginnings, beginnings that will lead to great change in the world. No matter what degree you are about to earn tomorrow, I want you to think about what change you will set in motion. How you flapping your blue jay wings to leave our nest will cause great cascades of growth and movement towards a better and brighter future. How your calling, no matter what you do, will continue to fulfill that sense of E-Town spirit. How all of your education will turn into service. How that service will help your communities grow and prosper. Because a bird or even a butterfly never only flaps its wings once. They continue on beat after beat, flying through the air, causing massive and glorious cascades of change. Change that leads to new and shining moments in time. So fly on, Blue Jays. Be that good that you know you are going to be. Move our ever-changing world to fantastic new places. I would like to end my speech today with a quote from one of my all-time favorite radio personalities, Casey Kasem, who would always end his weekly broadcasts as follows. Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. Thank you all, and our favorite phrase, roll Jays.
Apologize if I mess up. I'm not exactly the best public speaker. 4 years ago, I sat right there in Leffler Chapel to participate in the candlelighting ceremony, as it was the last activity of orientation. Being at the start of something is a very odd feeling. You sort of know where you will go and perhaps how to get there, but the details remain unclear. This is to say that I would never expected my college experience to turn out in the way it did. College is not how it's advertised. To most people, a college degree is a transactional investment. Therefore, the goal is not to learn the material explicitly, but rather is to get a high grade and ultimately a degree. Initially, I carried a lot of baggage into college, even this mindset. I only completed my freshman year because of the support of the Momentum program, and I paid the tuition for both semesters. Looking back, I was not prepared. I came in undecided, my swimming goals fell apart, I felt incredibly isolated and lost. But I ultimately stayed because of the interactions with the faculty and staff. I observed there was a genuine care in the well-being of the students through the faculty interactions. Through these interactions, they encouraged me not to just take the required classes, but it made me want to learn for its own sake. For example, Dr. Long made the content in his classes interesting, so I took every opportunity to sit in on them. I'm not a religious studies major. The same thing is true for the biology and math classes I took, especially the math classes. I've taken a lot of electrical engineering coursework. Through Dr. Brin's classes, he's inspired me to go above and beyond the required benchmark by completing an honors capstone thesis, which I had the joy of presenting in SCAD of 2026. I didn't have to do this, but the learning environment inspired me to do so. There's just so many examples of this happening. I didn't have to make my life this hard by taking multiple 18, 20 credit semesters. What this classes looked super interesting, and I felt like I had the support of my academic advisors. Because of my experience here, I've come to realize that people can thrive in a learning environment such as this. It is what makes us unique creatures. For me, working for a grade is an incredibly good way of depriving yourself of a transformative experience. I also received so much support from my family members who encouraged me to continue through college, even when it was really hard. It has allowed me to gain a better appreciation for them, but the most important thing that I have learned is that it does not take anyone of substantial intelligence to improve themselves. It's the belief it can be done and a genuine curiosity to do so, which is E-Town's impact on me.
There is a quote that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. For a long time, I thought I needed to go fast. Coming into college, I thought being independent meant handling everything on my own, solving my problems, and asking for help only when I absolutely had to. I would sometimes think, they are probably busy, or I should be able to figure this out. Over time, I realized that just because you can do things on your own does not mean you were meant to. When I came to the US for my studies, I was excited and nervous. I sometimes worried about making wrong decisions and what those mistakes can mean for my future. Through it all, I relied on my trust in Jehovah and the deep love and care of my family. As I continued my time here at Elizabethtown, I began to see that same kind of support in different ways. It showed up in professors who were patient and willing to help, even when I had a lot of questions. It showed up in advisors and mentors who guided me when I felt unsure. It showed up in friends who made difficult moments feel lighter. And sometimes it showed up in small ways I did not even notice at first. A quick, you got this, someone sharing notes, someone simply asking, are you okay? Those moments may seem small, but they matter more than we realize. Elizabethtown's motto is to educate for service, and I think I have come to understand that in a different way. It is not just about what we learn in classrooms, it is about how we show for one another. Because if I have learned anything during my time here, it is this. Growth does not happen in isolation, it happens in community. And somewhere along the way, I started to change too. I became more willing to accept help, and not just that, I became more aware of how I could be that support for someone else. Because just like I needed encouragement at one point, someone else might need it now. As we sit here today, getting ready to step into a new season of our lives, I think it is important to reflect on what we are taking with us. For me, this is what I am taking with me, the understanding that there is strength in allowing people to be there for you. So to everyone here, I want to say this. Do not be afraid to lean on the people around you. Do not be afraid to ask for help. And do not underestimate the impact you can have in someone else's life, even in the smallest ways. Because the truth is, we are not here today because we all did it alone. We are here because in one way or another, someone showed up for us. And as we move forward, let us continue to show up for others too. I am truly grateful to God for His guidance and protection, and to my uncles, auntie, and grandma who are here today. Thank you for your constant support, for checking in on me, and for always making sure I was okay. I love you all so much. Thank you.
Greetings. Good evening. All right. The Song of Solomon, chapter 2, verses 11 through 12 tells us, "For behold, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone. The flowers appear on the earth, the time of singing has come, and the voice of the turtle dove is heard in our land." Turtle doves are real birds, by the way, I promise. They're not just gifts that your true love sends to you every holiday season. I am a huge fan of spring. I listen and watch the birds, monitor the flowers. I, on occasion, instigate the squirrels, and watch the wind ever so slightly brush up against the limbs of every tree. Everything on this campus serves a purpose, including every single one of you. This is such a busy season of life. So little do we ever really get to stop and appreciate the finer things, like this ecosystem, or the years we've been able to spend here together. I am from the distant city of Erie, but when I was a much younger man than I am today, every spring, my wonderful mother over there would bring me here, to Elizabethtown, her alma mater. Then when my mother was a child, hard for me to believe or even imagine, her mother, my grandmother, would bring her here. So it's kind of like a family tradition, that in the occasional 3-year visit, right, of sorts. With each of these distinct visits, the campus may have been changing, the people, the professors, the classes, but not this dynamic ecosystem. The native trees, like the pawpaw, Aciamida tribola. Every fall, that flowers with one of the region's most delectable fruits. The eastern hemlock, the red maple. I could do this all day, would love to. That's just the dell, by the way. Then there's the London plane. It's a hybrid city tree from, you'd never guess it, London. The Norway spruce, a tree native to the European Alps. All of these trees serve a purpose. They add to this campus ecosystem. Their roots are strong, regardless of their origin. Today, many of you are the native trees. Many of you are tonight, and tomorrow, and after tomorrow, who knows? Though it is this biodiversity that makes this community all the stronger. While we're on this nature theme, wonderful theme, we could not have found a better symbol for this institution than that of the blue jay. They are part of the Corvidae family, which happens to be one of the most intelligent across all of the known animal kingdoms. How about that? They have an exceptional memory. They have one of the most complex communication systems. And finally, they're one of nature's greatest problem solvers. In biology and in life, adaptability is the name of the game. And boy, do blue jays, both the ones in flight and the ones in front of me now, know how to dominate that challenge. Though it can't all be ecology. As we appreciate this spring season, both literally and metaphorically, for this stage in all of your lives, we must try to appreciate the finer things. Stop and smell the roses, if you will. Today we disembark from our campus ecosystem, migrating to new ones, ready to fill all of our unique niches. That's just a fancy biology word for role. So I remind you all, as we leave here today, be proud of where you come from, and remain as strong and unique as the trees that surround us on this campus today. Look around you now at the peers who have grown up with you over these past few years, the professors and staff, the family members who have guided this transformation, or metamorphosis, if you will. You are all blue jays, ready to leave the nest. Complex, protective, intelligent, critical thinking, problem solving, adaptable blue jays. So as you take flight and leave this place of learning, remember those solemn lessons from nature. Many thanks, Godspeed, and roll jays. There we are.
Good evening. It's probably no surprise that I've been reflecting on change. what that feels like, and where the future will take us. So as our time here together on this campus that we've made our home comes to an end, I'm sure we have all been grappling with the endless questions of what comes next? Or maybe something like, what do you want to be when you grow up? After 4 years, 1 major, 2 minors, 142 credits, and a number of J-books that I am too embarrassed to admit, I still can't answer that for certain. But thanks to what I've learned at E-Town, I can answer questions I feel are much more important. Like, who do you want to be when you grow up? How do you want to show up in the world? My E-Town experience has been marked with a few key lessons that have taught me who I want to be, through learning to lead, building passion for service, and finding my power in resilience. E-Town has given us the platforms and opportunities to lead through action. Class of 2026, we have been club presidents, team captains, community leaders, on staff members, teaching assistants, tutors, the list goes on. And our campus community thrives, not because of those titles, but because we step up to the challenge, maybe even when we're not sure we're ready, to invest in something bigger than ourselves. We are leaders. E-Town has infused each of us with a passion for service. Service has found itself in every corner of my E-Town experience as a peer mentor, fitness instructor, student assistant at the Center for Community and Civic Engagement. I've seen the power of my peers coming together to support a cause. We are change makers and community builders. The world we're entering is calling on young people to be the change we wish to see, one act of service at a time, and we cannot sit on the sidelines. Finally, while these past few years have been filled with loving memories and forever friendships, I would be lying if I told you this whole bachelor's degree thing was a walk in the park. Each of us has had to carry something hard, heavy, challenging at some point over the last 4 years. If you resonate with that, please know that you are never alone, but that you are resilient. So, we arrived here as 18-year-olds, unsure of who we were and where our journey at E-Town would take us. Tomorrow, we start a brand new chapter as scientists, educators, activists, engineers, creators, and change makers, grounded not just in what we've learned, but who we've become. When the path ahead feels unclear or the mountain too tall to climb, may we have enough faith to trust the change makers, leaders, and resilient individuals that we have grown to be. Fellow Blue Jays, I am eternally grateful for the past 4 years walking alongside each of you. I am more than confident that we are prepared to soar into this next chapter, not because of what we will be, but because of who we already are. Blue Jays always. Thank you.
On a tombstone, life is marked by the day we enter and the day we leave, with a dash in between. That dash is such a small symbol to represent something so vast. For a long time, I thought the purpose of that dash was to fill it as much as possible, to do more, achieve more, become more. But over time, I've come to realize that our lives are not defined by the big, visible milestones. They are built in the small, often unnoticed moments accumulating over time. The decisions, subtle shifts, days that feel insignificant while we're living them, but end up shaping who we are. I learned this in a way I didn't expect. After my first year at E-Town, I took a leave of absence. It wasn't one moment that led me there or brought me back. It was a series of small realizations. Difficult conversations and gradual changes. Nothing about that season felt grand. but it was one of the most formative periods of my life, showing that growth happens in pieces, often in moments we don't recognize until much later. That same idea followed me into learning to like myself. Despite how I may come across now, I was never that person that some believe has everything put together. I was socially anxious, struggled to like who I saw in the mirror, and questioned whether I deserved happiness. Changing that didn't happen overnight. It took intentional effort, uncomfortable reflection, and daily choices to show up with a little more grace every day. And even now, that work is not done. I've come a long way, but I am still becoming, as we all are. Along the way, I've also come to understand the impact of others on our dash. For me, one of those people was a professor, Dr. Greenberg. Through many late nights of work and even later conversations, he taught me the qualities that make us great are often the same ones we struggle to accept. There is duality to who we are. And growth is not about eliminating one side, but learning to live with both simultaneously. And learning to accept that moment by moment has changed the way I move through my life. As we look ahead, it's tempting to believe life will eventually settle into a blissful clarity and ease. However, it is naive to believe we will arrive at such a place where we will be forever tranquil. The road ahead is filled with unexpected paths that will both challenge us and reward us. What we always have is this moment in each one that follows. And if we learn to be present in them and to appreciate them, then we can begin to understand this is where life happens. Because in the end, our dash is not defined by the grand moments, like the day we will share tomorrow. Those moments matter, but they are not what build our character or reveal who we are. Our lives are built in the small, everyday moments, the choices we make, and the ways we show up. So, as we move forward, let us appreciate the small moments constantly building us. Because when all is said and done, those are the moments that fill our dash.
When I think about my first visit to E-Town, the only thing that I remember is that I could not stop smiling. And now, almost 4 years later, here I am still smiling. I hear this sentiment repeated over and over, whether it's from my peers, prospective students, alumni, staff, or faculty. There is just something special about this place. This spring semester, I had the pleasure to co-lead an honors reading seminar course with fellow Blue Jay Maddie Freitas. We led a group of students learning about what makes communities strong. The most important thing that I learned through this experience is that there isn't a perfect policy or a specific way to lead that makes communities strong. It's the people in these communities and their desire to care for each other that makes them strong. And let me tell you, after guiding that class, I can confidently say that we, E-Town College, have a pretty darn strong community. For example, over 80 of our graduates, our class of 2026 graduates, have completed a study abroad experience in over 23 countries. We have 8 international students graduating from 7 different countries. 1/3 of our graduates are the first member of their family to graduate with a college degree. There are 20 friendly tour guides that are graduating this year, and we have 105 NCAA Division III student athletes, some of whom have gone on to win regional and national titles. There are occupational therapists graduating with their bachelor's, master's, or doctorates that are equipped to use their knowledge to make a difference in their patients' lives. We have students graduating with their masters from the counseling psychology and physician assistant programs, ready to meet the pressing healthcare needs of our communities. And we have students that are heading into those programs. There are students graduating today that are on the path to be licensed social workers, helping people in some of their most vulnerable moments.
Some students have been here for 4 years, some transferred in. Some are graduating early and some stayed for longer. Some even work here full time. A few of our 2026 grads trained puppies to become service dogs. Some of us have worked with immigrant families through partnerships with local organizations, and some have packaged meals that were sent around the world. Some of our grads are headed to law school, medical school, master's programs, PhD programs. Grads are headed to lead in classrooms, hospitals, banks, labs, firms, government buildings, think tanks, all equipped with the skills that E-Town has taught us, to use what we have learned for good. And while I may not have mentioned each and every one of us that makes up our incredibly strong E-Town community, what I can confidently say for each of those people graduating is that the journey to get here was not easy. Getting to this moment took perseverance, resilience, and strength. It took personal sacrifice and planning from our families. We especially would not be in this moment without the support from our families, chosen or biological, and support from E-Town staff and faculty. This is a really big deal, and it deserves to be celebrated. 2026 is a pretty unique time. We're facing pressing issues. The earth is getting warmer, there are global conflicts, and some of our most vulnerable populations are being threatened. And tomorrow, each of us is graduating with a degree from an institution whose values are rooted in peace, nonviolence, human dignity, and social justice. An institution whose guiding motto and mission is educate for service, with the idea that learning is most noble when used to benefit others. I believe that each one of us has a responsibility to show up and care for each other, care for our communities, and care for our planet. And I believe that E-Town has equipped the class of 2026 with the skills to do just that, to serve boldly, to show up for our neighbors, and to be agents of strength when we face challenges. So, I am deeply grateful to be part of E-Town College, and I'm looking forward to what Elizabethtown College's class of 2026 will do to benefit others.
The class of 2026 has tried to leave a lasting impression here at Elizabethtown College through improving college funding for student-requested changes via the senior class donation gift of Give to What You Love, promote senior class peer interactions through the inclusion of monthly class events, and advocating for senior class student concerns. As we prepare to pass on the flame to next year's class, we now invite Shannon, our representative of the class of 2027, to come forward.
We, the officers of the class of 2026, are about to pass on the mantle of leadership to you as the representative of the class of 2027. We want to remind you that in countless ways, the senior leaders shape the climate of the campus and determine the experience that underclassmen will have here at Elizabethtown College. This is an awesome responsibility and not to be taken lightly.
The senior leaders are responsible for taking leadership in shaping a positive environment for intellectual, emotional, social, spiritual, and physical well-being of students on campus. Additionally, seniors lead the senior class in trying to create a campus that truly educates for service and also an enjoyable place to live for the next 4 years. If you, the representative of the class of 2027, are willing to accept this responsibility, please say, I will.
This large candle that has been burning throughout the service represents the light that the class of 2026 has shown at Elizabethtown College. As we light this candle of the representative of the class of 2027, we now officially pass the mantle of leadership to the class of 2027. This large candle also represents the light that the members of the class of 2026 will shed on the world as we end our journey here at Elizabethtown and step into the future. We will now begin the candle lighting ceremony.
Four years ago, at our first year induction, we shared a litany and lit candles to welcome our class. Tonight, as we prepare to say farewell to our college years, we want to reclaim the intention of that time and light candles as a group. I invite the members of the class of 2026 to stand as we read together. Would the seniors please stand and join Callie to read the senior litany found in the back of your program.
Over the last 4 years, we, the class of 2026, have shared a journey.
We celebrate the knowledge we have gained from our coursework and the friendships we have made
beautiful, everyone. Tonight, we stand on the threshold of a new adventure.
As we prepare for a new journey in a world full of both uncertainty and great possibility.
We remember that the college seal calls for Deus, Lux et Veritas, and the college motto is Educate for Service.
We reaffirm our commitment to God, light, truth, and service.
Throughout our lives, let us continue our quest for knowledge, justice, and truth.
Let us always remember that the light of ages shines unwavering, even in the midst of darkness.
Right, you all may be seated now. Thank you.
You also may extinguish your candles. I suggest you hold them upwards so that the wax does not drip on you. Sorry. And on behalf of everyone who works here at Elizabethtown College, senior leadership, faculty, and staff, I want to thank you so very much for coming to bear witness to these students' stories and performances. Can we give them one more big round of applause? It is always such a meaningful experience to hear all of the reflections and to know that there are so many others who are also reflecting in this time, thinking about their many vast experiences here at Elizabethtown College. And I am so grateful for the wide representation that we have as Blue Jays together. As we prepare to depart, I hope that you will feel that you can linger a little bit to share and connect, to take a picture up here with your student. You are welcome to do so and to linger for a little bit. As you leave, there will be some receptacles at any of the doors for your candles, if you could deposit them in the receptacle bins as you go. And I'm going to offer a benediction, and I invite you also to stay as we have one last piece from our choir before we depart. So receive this blessing, all of you students, class of 2026. Class of 2026, we are better because you took the risk to make this place part of your journey. Now we bless your steps onward. May you discover that the light that you have carried within you all this journey through will also be your future guide. May the community you built, the stories created endure and ever remind you of everything that you cherished here. May you be centered in the knowledge and the experience you gathered. May the roots that you grew stay strong. May the strengths you nourished here ground you as you prepare to serve and work, learn and hope in this world. And in all things, may peace and the strength of hope be with you all your journey through. Blessings and congratulations. And now, our senior conductor.